Stardew Valley will always be known, in part, due to it being completely impressive, and also just downright fun to play. Taking inspiration from classic relaxing games such as Harvest Moon, it was designed by just one man, the one and only Eric Barone. Recently, I decided to push it to its limits, modding it via Nexus mods. I started my modding journey with Fallout New Vegas and roughly 10 to 12 mods. It was a desperate struggle of black screens and inconsistent load orders. Next, I took a ride in Tamriel with Skyrim, and I had applied around 30 mods successfully. It was a breeze to mod that game, and it had left me hungry for more, so I modded the absolute ever-loving shit out of Stardew Valley. Half the things I didn't even want, need, or care for, but I did it because I could. If you like this type of content, then mod the shit out of that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's get into it. As I said before, I didn't particularly need or want any specific mod going into this. Stardew Valley is a game that while I have a decent amount of hours in, it's not like Terraria or Rust. I don't breathe it daily. I don't minimax it hard enough in my mind to specifically seek out mods for the game. I do just love the recent mod bender I've been on, and so I decided to just peruse it, and it got me very excited extremely quickly to play and enjoy this game again. I had started several runs with my brother and my wife recently, and I'd already been enjoying the relaxed game for a good while. Stardew Valley is one of those timeless games ever since its introduction. It's a game you can hop in and enjoy, picking up for a few hours at a time. You're not going to have anything negative to say about it either. I've heard honest critiques of Stardew Valley, and I've heard what people like and don't like, and I don't think there's a single person that actually hates the game. The worst I usually hear is, meh, not my type of game. How incredibly talented do you have to be to create a game that everyone genuinely loves? It's sold millions of copies at this point, and I'm responsible for at least 3 or 4 of them. I think one of the reasons why some people love this game is because it's also super easy to mod. It's like Terraria, where they have a dedicated mod manager. Terraria has Tmod Loader, and Stardew Valley has SMAPI, and the modding framework is built in a way that even if there's a conflict or something doesn't fit right, then the mod loading will simply skip it, and it doesn't impact game performance at all. This means that for the most part, you can install something and not be affected if it doesn't get updated or is broken in some way. I also read about the different ways to mod the game. If you're doing it manually, I guarantee you could find it confusing, especially the longer your mod list grows. This is just another reason why I truly do love Nexus mods and Vortex at the end of the day. Vortex, if you're hearing me, I would absolutely love a sponsorship.
Like that's ever gonna happen.
Luckily, with the use of these tools, I just went on a multiple day binge, window shopping mods, and threw whatever I liked into the cart, so to say. I quickly racked up over 50 mods. If I had ever gotten even half that number in Fallout New Vegas, it would have run so poorly it would have never launched even once.
Satan called, he wants his computer back.
Yeah.
I could barely handle 11 on that game. Some teasers for Stardew Valley 1.6 also said that the new update is going to focus around making modding even easier. I don't know how true that is, that's just the rumor I've heard between the cushions. Naturally, some mods broke, but with the amount I went for, it was to be expected. Nonetheless, I pushed forward. Launching Stardew Valley via Nexus mods launched SMAPI instead, and the little black box began to install the mods one by one. I believe there were only a few that had problems. They may have needed updates or had simple conflicts, but it was nothing super big, and that's what mattered. A lot of my mods actually were dependencies and framework tools for expanding the game that were used by other mods. This was a nightmare with Fallout New Vegas. This usually resulted in crashing right off the bat, but everything performed flawlessly this time with Stardew Valley. After X amount of hours, it hasn't even crashed. Skyrim crashed a dozen times or more, but hell, that could have just been the game itself. Who knows with Bethesda? Stardew Valley really proves how lightweight and easily moddable it is here. I don't have a super hard-hitting computer, it's only 2 GB of virtual RAM, and it can't handle strenuous loads because of this. Stardew Valley is a game that I can have open, running, recording, or replay buffering, while watching Max at the same time, and it doesn't even blink. Maybe if I'm being harsh, a stutter every once in a while.
You want.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Over the hours of me enjoying my modded Stardew Valley experience, they brought a host of new characters that blended seamlessly into Stardew Valley's world. You could have told me that these characters were part of the base game, and I really wouldn't have even batted an eye. Most of the content that had been delivered to me was in the Stardew Valley Expanded mod, a critical mod and a popular one at that adds hours of content to the game. Not only does it add new heartwarming characters, it builds on the characters that are already within Stardew Valley. Admittedly, it's hard to tell about some of the cutscenes. When I haven't played Stardew in years, coming back to it is quite different since the developer has made many quality of life improvements and tweaks and added new pieces of content and such. If he continues to work on it as much as he has already done, then I have no doubt that when his time comes, he will win a Labor of Love award for doing so. He may not have the most regular updates, but even now, with 1.6 on the horizon, you can tell he's still not done pouring work into this beautiful game he has created. In the end, the things I loved most about modding Stardew Valley is that you couldn't really even tell they were mods. What do I mean by that? When you mod games like Bethesda games, for example, you just have a modded feel. There may be a lot of factors for this, including but not limited to the mods being downright funny or hilarious, such extreme quality of life improvements and more. And when you mod Stardew Valley, it just feels like you're adding cut content. Every mod I download doesn't drastically change the core gameplay of Stardew Valley, it just builds onto it. I think that speaks more of the nature of the game itself than it does the modding community. If I wanted to, I could change it into a roguelike or any number of scenarios with what mods they have on the marketplace, and I just don't feel the need to do that with Stardew Valley. Out of all my love for games, Stardew Valley isn't my favorite. I once heard someone talk about how they didn't like it because it didn't have risks. They needed more uncertainty in their gaming. They needed the thrills of risks and rewards, and Stardew Valley fails to capitalize on that for them. I, on the other hand, see that while Stardew Valley does not offer risk, it does offer those rewards, wholeheartedly. It capitalizes on what it means to improve day after day, making small changes, seeing your farm grow to success. A game does not need risk to be compelling, and I think the obvious success of it shows as such. I think that's about all I have to say for now. I have put Stardew Valley back on the shelf for now, and may still grind it when the time is right, but right now I have other projects and more to do in the meantime. I really want to make a video about some of the newest games I've gotten, like Cyberpunk and Super Mario RPG. I think that while it may be an unrealistic goal, I'm going to try to dedicate myself to a new plan this year, weekly uploads. That's right, I'm going to try to upload once a week, at least for the entire year. I don't know how well this will go, but we'll see. If you like today's video and enjoy this type of content, please make sure to Stardew that subscribe button down below. I appreciate each and every one of you turning into my weekly incoherent ramblings, and hope that everyone has a great and amazing day. Happy New Year, everyone, to 2024.
Bye, have a great time.